The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. All right. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto our elders and apostles, a great millstone, who do teach and rule well. Tell us it's 100% truth, peace, love, and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, and the 1/3. You Akim out there pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Unto those who are scattered to the four corners, as well as you confusion of face Israelites, which would thus mean that outwardly you appear as a so-called heathen, such as a so-called Chinese, Indian man, etc. However, the seed of your father and your father's fathers, that seed line, goes back to an Israelite man, which would thus make you an Israelite man, woman, or child. Unto you we say Shalom. All right? And Salakia. As we just started off in Isaiah 47:13, all right, America, Babylon the Great, okay, by way of the rituals, direction, and enchantments that the elites, all right, have orchestrated and pushed through America, all right, all of what, all of the wars, all of the bloodshed, all of the pseudosciences, all right, as I often say, Nahum said it best, all right, the place is, this place, America, all right, because at the time, it was referencing ancient Nineveh, all right, but spiritually in Nahum, what's that, the 3rd chapter, all right, it's discussing America, man, all right, it's also speaking in the future, all right, and he said, woe to the bloody city, all right, what's that bloody city? That bloody city is America, man, all right, because even when you go back to ancient Nineveh had nothing on the power, the military might, all right, and ultimately the conquest and bloodshed, which we have seen with America, all right, all throughout the known world, literally, all right. And, ancient Nineveh didn't have that might, all right. Another thing about it, all right, the magnitude, right. When he said, woe to the bloody city is all full of lies, it's all full of robbery and lies, all right. The magnitude by which America has robbed, lied, and spoiled all of the nations of the earth, all right, proves that it was twofold, But getting back to it, all right, while this place has been doing all these things, all right, America, Babylon the Great, through their leadership, all right, that starts at your local mayors and governors, politicians, all right, your corporations, all right, your CIA, FBI, etc., all right, and then of course the mega corporations, all right, and then of course the banking industry, and then from there the elites, from that pecking order, if you will, all right, while these people were pushing all of the sciences, all of the trade, the bartering, the trade agreements, all these things, all right, your enemies, okay, were infiltrating you, man. Obadiah 1:7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There's none understanding in him, right? That's why, all right, this article is being presented, which we have yet to get it, but we had to kind of lay a little bit of the groundwork, And it reads, the U.S. Air Force investigates a mystery company that's bought 55,000 acres around a major California Air Force base, costing $800 million. Amid security fears, it may be connected to a hostile power. All right, and why is that? Well, ultimately, because they can't figure out who owns this company. All right. It reads, Flannery Associates, these top 3 bullets. Flannery Associates has bought $1 billion worth of land in Solano County. Many of its parcels are next to Travis Air Force Base, northeast of San Francisco. Despite federal inquiries, nobody behind the company has been identified. All right. And, The man, it's really twofold, and especially here in America, Babylon the Great, the place of great confusion, of great witchcraft, of great wickedness. The thing is, because of the Salakia, let me turn this down. All right, because of the manner in which this place is, just full of lies, deceit, and everything else. All right, it wouldn't be surprising to know that individuals working for the U.S. government, all right, are working for this company, who is more than likely backed by China, all right, or even Russia, or even a major but less considered player, Iran. You know, Iran got the resources. Iran had the money. If you remember, all right, Obama. Let me see if I can find it. All right, U.S. sent plane with $400 million in cash to Iran. All right, $400 million transfer as part of the Iran nuclear deal. All right. There was more than this because, as you see here, the U.S. transferred $1.3 billion more in cash to Iran after the initial payment. All right, so there you have it. All right, that's very feasible. They waited. They established certain companies over years. They took their time. All right, and now boom, now they're right in your backyard. So this is beautiful to see, regardless of who it is or what's or what may come of it or may not come of it. Who cares? Really, because we know that America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed nonetheless. All right, but it further substantiates, all right, that one, you Americans, all right, you modern day Egyptians, you modern day Babylonians, all right, you people are just the dumbest people on the face of the earth, man. All right, because you're oblivious to even how your own government works. All right, let alone the weightier matters. All right, which those weightier matters, all right, are the powers and the levels to which nation states orchestrate agreements, man, and violate agreements and infiltrate. The same thing that America has been doing to the world, that you people have blindly accepted in the name of so-called democracy. All right, which when you even go into, let's get that etymology real quick. All right. All right, democracy. Okay. From demos. All right. So democratia, popular government. From demos, common people or district, and rule or strength. You see? And that's literally what it means, man. All right. Now, when you go into the definition, let's just grab it right here. All right. Just the popular government, Babylon the Great, man. All right. Here we go. The people. All right. As you see here, demos, same thing. The people rule. All right. Which you people don't rule. All right. It reads the system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. The practice or principles of social equality. Control of an organization or group by the majority of its members. All right. And really this place has, never been a democracy. All right. Because the system of government, all right, by the whole population or eligible members of a state has never existed. All right. Because they're not in control. All right. And they're not helping you maintain the control for the people, etc., man. All right. These people are not in control. So it's never been a democracy. These people are peons. They're peasants. They are puppets. All right. So furthermore, government officials are investigating a mysterious company that has bought around 55,000 acres of dry farmland, all right, around a U.S. Air Force base in California. Starting in 2018, a company called Flannery Associates has spent around $800 million buying swaths of land around the base. You see? So it's been slow, orchestrated, taking their time, all right? leaving local, state, and federal officials flummoxed as to who they are and what they want with it. And that's the thing, right? That's the beautiful thing about it. Okay. Because Esau, Edom, you self-proclaimed white people, you wicked elites that rule the world through and by way of America, Babylon the Great, you have created the laws and the rules that allow this. You see? And man, it's beautiful to see because all these rules and legislations where you can create shell companies, you can do this, you can do that. You created those frameworks of legislation, and now it's being done to you. All right, let's grab that scripture. He that layeth a snare, it shall be upon his head. All right, because the thing is, all right, why do you want to know who it is, man? All right, it's just farmland. They could be building some farm to feed people, and you see. And that's the thing about Esau, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of, the wicked of the earth, you so-called white people, man. Which this is not a color thing, but we have to identify to whom this particular group of people, all right, and how they are identified, all right, because it isn't so-called Indian people, all right, so-called brown people that roll around in elephant shit, all right, that rule the world, all right. It isn't Australians that rule the world, right? It isn't so-called those Europeans in the EU or the UK. No, all right? Not even the Russians, okay? Not Americans, all right? Not South Americans, not Chinese, all right? We're using these terms because they're base terms for you people that don't have any understanding, all right? But the elite banking families of the world, all right? The least of them, which you know to be the Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, your Morgans, those are the least, all right, of the elites, all right? There are elite families which you people have never even heard of, man. All right, Ecclesiasticus 27:26, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein, right? The reason for legislation and all the loopholes and a lot of the things that Esau, Edom, all right, you wicked elites, all right, through your handlers and politicians and your puppets here in America, the reason why you have convoluted all of your legislation is to continue to allow wickedness, man. All right, so that way you could continue to fill your coffers, so that way you could continue to keep us so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and confusion of face Israelites scattered throughout the world and chiefly here in America, so that way you could keep us in a lower state, man. So that way we couldn't rise up, all right, and operate the billions and trillions of business practices and systems and customs that history has shown we have been able to operate. And yet, even by that measure, all right, you still have, wicked lawyers out there. All right, you can look it up, man. Lawyer convicted of wire fraud, money laundering, senator convicted of trafficking 30 kilos of cocaine. All these people are in on it, man, because they're in with the system. All right. But now, all right, what's taking place is that those very, convoluted pieces of legislation that you push just so that way you could try to create shell companies and get over on other countries and your other business partners, and all these things that you did for your filthy lucre's sake is now being used against you to infiltrate you, man. All right. Even furthermore, all right, here we go. Let's see if we get it pulled up. All right. Is China sneaking military personnel into the U.S. border? All right. Let's get this one here. A reporter says he filmed hundreds of military-aged Chinese men heading toward U.S. in migrant groups. All right. And there you have it, man. The U.S. sees a surge of Chinese nationals crossing the southern border compared to 2022. All right. So that means they were doing it in 2022. All right. probably also in 2021, less frequently. But now, look at this. All right. Now, we know that most of these individuals aren't. But the thing is, you got spies among them. All right. And they would be going in the same way. All right. They have had for years now Chinese police stations in the U.S., man. All right. What are China's alleged secret overseas police stations? All right. Now, this says alleged, but they're just stupid. All right. Let's just go straight to the Department of Justice. There's nothing alleged about it. Two arrested for operating a legal overseas police station of the Chinese government. Defendants are New York City residents who allegedly operated the police station in Lower Manhattan and destroyed evidence when confronted by the FBI. All right, so you actually have Chinese operatives over here who are basically working their own police stations, keeping eyes on their citizens, man. All right, which that's also tying in with the NWO Mark of the Beast system by way of the chip, the RFID chip, which is the Charagma, which is the mark, which is the Karax. All right, through the idea of piercing, Rev 3 and 10, the hour of temptation. Okay, and so there you have it, man. All right, so if they're already operating, all right, police stations to monitor their citizens, all right, if the if you have already closed, all right, consulates, okay, because of the fact that they were so-called stealing trade secrets back in 2020. All right, how much more do you think is taking place today, man? All right, that farmland is just a small piece of the puzzle. All right, here it is. This was a few years back. The U.S. has ordered China to close its consulate in Houston, Texas by Friday, a move described as political provocation by Beijing. Said the decision was taken because China was stealing intellectual property. All right, and that also makes sense why a lot of these other heathen nations have been advancing militarily. The aircrafts, their advancements. Even Iran, released their new missiles, recently within the past 6 months. All right, let me see. Salakia. This was just a few months ago. Yep. Iran showcases first hypersonic ballistic missile. All right, Iranian officials have presented what they describe as the Islamic Republic's first domestically produced hypersonic ballistic missile, capable of traveling at 15 times the speed of sound, amid heightened Western concerns about Tehran's missile capabilities and nuclear program. Iranian state media published pictures of the missile named Fatah, or Conqueror, in Persian. You see? Because, remember, our scripture says, right, they call the names after their own lands, all right? But some of these particular lands still maintain the ancient customs and manners, all right, that are written about all through the scriptures, man, because everybody has a scriptural, all right, identity, a biblical identity to whom which was given, all right, by the Lord, okay? And there you have it, man, all right? So this was not too long ago, back in June. All right. Of course, this was in 2020. All right. You had plenty of cash going to Iran, and so they're able to make advancements with the help of Russia and China, right? Because, ultimately, Russia and China are in bed together, man. So by extension, Iran is in that picture as well, man. All right. Turkey is in that picture. All these other nations, all right, who are no longer in line with America, man. All right, with this wickedness. Look, hey, man, if you Americans had the opportunity to go and spend just one day, in each country of the world, for the next month, one day in all these other countries, all right, and then come back to America, man, you'd never want to come back to this piece of shit, man. All right, it'd be better to not have access to your luxuries, than to see the demented behavior, man, But then the parallel of it is, because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the earth, the thing is, even that statement isn't really true, because these people are so wicked, they go to all these other places. They be like, oh, no, we can't do this, we can't do that. Now I'm going back to America because I could do what thou will. You see, that shows, man. Because matter of fact, let me change that statement. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you could send an American to another place and, then they turn into missionaries. They want to start, doing all, But now you send them to another place. Nah, man, they don't want to be out there, man, because they can't commit the wickedness and the desires and the lust of all of the wine that they have drunken here through America, Babylon the Great, man. All right. And, hey, the state of the people is a byproduct of the leadership, man. So your U.S. Air Force, your military programs, all right, which is now being ran by troons, all right. I'm not going to say the other word, all right, but basically men who are dressed as what, all right. You even had matter of fact, Biden announces first. Let's see. All right. Apparently, he just nominated this individual. All right, which that's probably another another one of them things, man. One of them XYZ. Hey, is also kind of spiritual too, because they have this on its side. All right. And the flags are falling. They're what I mean? Like, hey, man, but I digress, man. The point has been made. This is at least your words, man. All right, because at the end of the day, all right, all of these other nations, all right, are gonna bend the bow. All right, led by Russia. All right, China. You're gonna have like how our elders and apostles have said about us, man. When Judah goes, Ephraim follows, and then the rest of the tribes, man. All right, and that's what's happening, man. Russia's going toe to toe, all right, with America, man. All right, on a daily basis through the events taking place in Ukraine, all right, and on much higher levels, all right. There's this show I used to watch, all right. In closing, closing points. It's called The Americans, all right. Basically, this was about American couples, all right, who were teachers. All right, who were Russian sleeper agents, man. All right, and it's a bit of a slow watch, but man, it's fire, man, because it really shows, all right, how the Russians, all right, and these other nations have been infiltrating America, man. All right, one of the more prominent ones we saw was let me see. Man, what was this girl's name? Russian spy. It was a few years back. It was the not this. This is nothing. Let's just put beautiful Russian spy. Deceived. NRA, is it? Yeah, here we go. You got to add some, There it is. All right. Accused spy was in contact with Russian intelligence. You've had these women, all right, who have been infiltrating, these men in these institutions, all right, because everything is based off of lust here. Everything is based off of, greed. Right. And there was another one, Anna Chapman, I think. Yep, here we go. She was the other one. All right. Anna Chapman. This was some years way back, There it is. It says 2010 right there. All right. Well, see, they've been getting over on you people, man. Okay. And she's hit, man. Personally. All right, I don't find her attractive at all. All right, but these are just a few examples, man. All right, just a few examples. So how much more, all right, because it was back 2009, 2008, 2010, how much more today, man? All right, how much more today? You see? So this, what's so beautiful as a closing statement, all right, is them buying all this land, they probably did this on purpose, all right, to raise concerns about national security and blah blah blah, while they have another company buying the real land that they're going to use elsewhere. Hey man, that's why scripture says there's none understanding in him, man. This place is through, man, and we just patiently, thankfully, and gratefully wait for the works of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kakwadash to be fulfilled, man. All right, all hell breaking loose, the continued collapse of this place and its full society, man. All right, people being slaughtered, judgment. All right, judgment to the fullest measure, man. All right, and may we, starting with our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, all the way down to the least of us, all right, brothers, offshoots, all right, under the banner and direction of Yahweh Shai, through the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, may we be Lord's will through his predestination and compassions and mercies. All right, may we have been given since the foundation of time, that Ezekiel 9:4, man, that mark of exemption, to endure the things that's coming, man, and through the Spirit. We feel ready, man. Things have been happening very quickly, and we feel prepared in the spirit of our minds to tackle what's next, what's about to come, man. And Lord's will, the Lord will continue to sharpen our minds, all right, our spirits to dwell therein in humility, to continue to dwell in wisdom. So hey, Lord's will, you was edified in closing. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakahakudash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations unto the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, and the 1/3. Until next time, we say, Shalom.